I think I also have a slide. It's just waiting for that. And also, I wouldn't say me myself as a hope, but I do want to bring hope to everyone in this room after my sharing. Let's jump to this slide. So my story, as Martin said, like everyone has a story to share. So today, I want to share two pieces of my stories. The number one is my appointment at the Youth Office of the United Nations as SDG Young Leader. So, and the second piece of story is Climate. So my endeavor, like building this AI solution for climate data. And to start with, so UN started a office. Now it's called the Youth Office a few years ago. And like SDS and youth, right, this is a place designed for the youth and by the youth, and for the youth. So very lucky, I'm one of the 17 individuals. So every 2 years, we will do a selection, people working on the SDG goals. And then, by the way, the application has just opened, and it's ending soon. So if you're interested, I'm more than welcome to answer questions. So over the past few years, I've been given the opportunity to travel around the world, like sitting in a room like this. And I would say the biggest fortune throughout that is not the content I gave a speech about. It's not like which forum. It's actually the friendship, people you met. So from my own experience, I met my young friend from Tanzania, like who were one day, I believe, he will light up Africa by bringing renewable energy, and he's like 2 years younger than me. And then through the past few years, I met the champion athletes from the Paralympic Games, and who is now one of the most influential swimmer, and he's coaching kids. So I wouldn't have the chance to meet all the people if I'm not doing the work with the youth office. So the same words, I think, in this room today, everyone we met here, you're the solution for each other. So back to the beginning, what I do as a day job. So my background is statistics, computer science. I did research on climate finance before I started Climate. I was at the Imperial College London a few years ago. And like for me, it was like very natural to come up with that idea. We need more efficient solution for climate. You know, like that was before, right after COVID. So I was at the Climate Finance Center, and then it takes me like half a year, more than half a year to write a report. And I couldn't figure out the meaning and then the value, the impact I could bring, like producing those content. And then another chat, I had a chance to talk to the current chair of IPCC, Professor James Gee. For fans, if you're not in the climate sector, it takes, guess how many years it would take to produce a IPCC report. It's like more than 5 years. And then the world is counting on the IPCC report to design the climate policy. So we cannot afford the speed to generate content, to generate the guidance for our government and then for our policymakers, for academia to work on the solution. So I came up with the idea, like, why not we find out a way we can accelerate what we're doing? And that comes to the idea of a climate. As you can tell from the name, so this is like a version we iterated so many times. And today I'm not gonna talk about a lot about the platform itself. I want to tell more story behind. So first of all, identify the challenges, problems. Sometimes more important than finding the solution. So we all know, okay, climate is not efficient. Like the approach with finding solution is not efficient. But on the other hand, I believe most of you already had a chance to play with ChatGPT or Gemini or different tools. And what's shocking to me, I will tell you one personal story, is one day my grandmom came to me and she asked, I want to order something from Taobao. So this is Amazon from China. And I asked help from DeepSeek. And then my grandmom is a very Chinese grandmom, like she didn't even go to college. So that was like a moment to me, like no technology by the speed and the scale has come into our life, and something is happening. And this is apparently not in the climate sector. So continue to break down what are the challenges here. I'm going to be a little bit technical. So the first one, I know we have Martin in the insurance sector. So in climate sector, unfortunately, up until today, how we interpret and understand the climate risk is we're not there yet. Like we have remote sensing, we have satellite to telling us what's going on with the Earth. But if you ask anyone, like how you measure physical climate risk, transition risk, it's not a math, it's not even a statistic. And then the second is there are some existing solutions providing the information, like the very complicated graph here. Those are like more or less business involved with climate. But if you really dive into it, I think from a very like nerdy perspective, it's really labor intense. And then people like me, what I did when I was doing research, it take your more than 90% of your time, 90% of the time, reading content and not producing solutions. So this is like a problem we identified. And then I was at the Cambridge back then when we just had this idea. I decided to move back to China. Coming from China, like you understand the power of speed, manufacturing stuff, and then building technologies. And I think I'm really glad I made the decision. I went back to Beijing, and I went to this program called the Schwarzman Scholar. I spent a year there, and then later, after a year, I went back to Hong Kong. So climate has been 2 years old, and so far, I'm really proud to share, like we are a team of 10, located in Hong Kong, Shenzhen, Singapore, Cambridge, and then very young team. Our average age is like 27-ish, but we've been serving, like producing AI platform for a very big bank, and then asset managers. It's really tough, but I think like this journey for me, it's like on one hand, you see the world of AI is growing with a speed that you cannot leave it alone. You want to catch it. And then the second is, on the other hand, like you look at we're coming from the climate sector. Nobody has built a tool like AI agents can make some solution for all the logo for the company here. So if you find like climate.co today, this is one quick example what we're able to do. So from very complex different languages report or content, like we've been able to do the information retrieval. We're able to build an agent that can help the colleague to finish at least like 60–70% of the work. And then the working climate sector can be really diverse. Even like one simple task, like how you, for example, rating company, like how you retrieve the quantitative, qualitative information from the compliance report and then generate the rating. So that's the only demo I want to give here. So I think the final part I want to wrap up about my sharing, but I think is the most important part of today, is what's a humble experience like throughout building a company from scratch. I think I got a few bullet points here actually while listening to everyone's sharing since this morning. This might be a little bit disconnected, but those are all from firsthand experience. I think that number one is we still don't know how to measure climate risk properly. Like questions really obvious, not being solved, even with all the data and then technologies we have. So I'm really positive in this sector and excited to see more solutions bringing in. And then the second is AI and the climate are the two biggest forces reshaping our future, especially future jobs. I'm more concerned than being positive on this end. Like Sandy just mentioned this morning, like the job landscape is being challenged by AI. Like if you go to LASF, if you take a Waymo to there's no driver, then where should they go? The same in the climate, the job we need hasn't been created yet. And then on the other hand, we have so many climate schools being produced in the past 2 years, and what they're gonna teach, how they bring the gap. So we're also exploring the education sector, but that's something like really I've been thinking about every day. And then the third one is, I think the value, like young people today are not just looking for an office job, like we want to define our value. And I believe people work in AI or climate more or less, that you definitely have a value, not just for the salary to sustain your life. So for us, my own case, like our team and then the company I want to build, we're doing something nobody has done before. So you really have to persuade, to push yourself, to believe in yourself. Otherwise, nobody else will believe in yourself. And then the fourth one is we're really living in an era with more access to information. Yet we're also facing one of the greatest digital and then technological divide. We still have countries like not having 24 hours electricity. And then the growth of technology and then science shouldn't be stopped. And then this might be a little bit irrelevant, but I was discussing with Kathleen yesterday about the Columbia's research funding being cut, like $500 million. That's a shame. But I think that's also terrifying for people who work in STEM. Like, you cannot give up. And then the next one is the average age of an engineer building all the breakthrough technology today are between 25 and 35. So don't underestimate yourself. It is us who are shaping the future. And then the final one, the takeaway is the truth is we really don't have time. So if anyone come to me, like ask what's our barrier, like who's our competitor, my only answer is our only competitor really is time. So just repeat myself. If there's only one thing, like I hope you can take away with you, you are the solution for each other. So talk to everyone sitting next to you, and then like you're really the solution for each other, and it's never too late to learn. It's never too early to lead. And then thank you so much, and I hope you also find the meaning of what you do, and then best luck to the future. Thank you.